What's going on, guys? We're back with another video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over a Supreme unboxing. This was of the last week 19 of the season. I can't believe it's over. Kind of crazy. Now, I got it over here. I already kind of opened the box a little bit, but regardless, we're going to unbox it and go through things with y'all. I know we just wrapped up the Supreme sale. They did it online. They did it in person as well. To be honest, in person, from what I saw in store, significantly much more selection in store. I was actually surprised. We'll touch on that at the tail end of the video. But I do want to touch on what we picked up from week 19, okay? Week 19, there were 2 items that I was eyeing. Actually, there were 3 items, maybe even 4, but we ended up going with a couple items that I do want to unbox, and these were actually the same 2 items that flew off the site, okay? I don't know if what I'm wearing from, I don't know if what I'm wearing from, FTP is already kind of giving it away in terms of what we picked up. But yes, I'm going to go ahead and unbox them, and we'll get to it. All right, so let's go ahead and unbox them. And first things first, I'm going to share with you the first item. So this is the first item. Here we go. We got the camo, the regular colored camo camp cap, okay? This one was definitely something that a lot of people were eyeing, and yeah, this eventually did sell out on the website. Not instantaneously, I would say probably within the first like 4 to 5 minutes, this eventually did sell out. I don't think I'm going to be unboxing this, or at least opening it up. I do see a lot of fits. I do like the fact that it just kind of has this, like, tarnished look to it. I hope you can see that. Just it's like it's all cut up and like stitched in together. I really do like this a lot. This was actually my favorite item out of week 19, this one specifically. All right, so this is the first item. I like it a lot. Definitely going to keep this on ice until I figure out a good fit. But the item that I will be unboxing in this video is this, okay? Because we definitely wanted to kind of go matchy-matchy with our anorak, all right? So we did get this from FTP, Fall/Winter 2023. This was just an item I was just like, it's out there, And then we did go with the initial hat, just to kind of, with the hat to match. You guys know it, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this up and kind of give you a sneak peek of what it looks like all together, all right? You guys know it. We love fashion. We pretty much do it. We do it over here, all right? So I don't know. You guys let me know like how that all looks together. I might have to curve the cap just a little bit, just tiny bit. But with the anorak, with the anorak, we do happen to have that. I believe there is some Velcro in the back where you can kind of like wrap up the initial hood as well. But I just wanted to kind of show you, the initial fit. You know what I mean? The initial fit, because we do it. We do it over here. Hat. It's a little bit different, it's a little bit different if you kind of like take a peek, but I think, from afar, I think we can definitely like pull it off, you know what I mean? Guys, let me know. You let me know your initial thoughts, but part of the reason I went with this anorak was just because, sometimes it gets rainy out here in San Francisco and, windy out here, so I just think like this one specifically, I do like the fact that when FTC released it, you got all these freaking pockets. You got all these freaking pockets. You got pockets here, pocket here, pocket here. Just all these freaking pockets. It's just a dope fit, And then there you go. You got the camp cap with it all together. The only thing that I'm not a fan of with the camp cap is initially, you guys know that that plastic tab. I kind of wish it was just a little bit more durable at the end of the day, but hey, it's all good in this hood, that's for sure. So there you go. Guys, let me know your initial thoughts on this fit together with a hat, you know what I mean? I just wanted to throw out some ideas if you guys, again, I know this is an older item, but there are people who resell this stuff like on Grailed. If you're like, hey, I like that fit, I want to put these things together. This camp cap with this, I think, is just a solid look. But that pretty much sums up the unboxing, okay? I'm very happy with these items. I think they're awesome. This is the one, once I saw this, I was like, All right, and actually this camp cap, believe it or not, sold out first before before this one. It sold out first before this one. Regardless, they both eventually sold out, and it is what it is. You know, they're probably going to be reselling on the aftermarket. I could see these camp caps going for anywhere from $75, maybe all the way to $100. Supreme camp caps, depending on what color, you guys know it, are probably some of the best Supreme investments. I'm just going to be honest. Like they're typically sleeper investments that do go up. They just do. It's just one of those things. Which is why we scoop up a lot of camp caps. Big, similar to Luke Darnell, we're big camp cap enthusiasts over here. We love them, that's for sure. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that concludes the initial unboxing. I wanted to touch on the sale just a little bit here for anybody still watching, all right? And if you're enjoying the content, smash that like button for your guy, all right? And subscribe to the channel, all right? So I do want to touch on the Supreme sale. So Supreme sale online, a little underwhelming, if I'm going to be honest. There wasn't really like a whole lot of items. They didn't do like 2 drops. It was just 1 drop, and then it is what it is. But they did have some nice items. They did have some Michelin-esque, button. I believe it, what was it? With the camo. I'm really trying to think of the exact item, but it was kind of like it was a Michelin-esque jacket that they did release. They had it in maroon. They had it in like a cream white, and then they also had it in a black. Probably one of the best items, I would say, and definitely a solid investment for on those larger sizes, on like a large or an XL, if anything. That was definitely a piece that stood out to me. I like that one a lot. But they did have some, some sleeper pieces as well online. And let me know. Did you guys pick anything up from the initial sale? Like, put it in the comments. I'd love to know what initially you picked up. And then if you did go in store, what did you get in store? So I got to take a peek in store in terms of what they actually had. They had a lot more items, significantly larger selection in store, anywhere from about, 30% off for most of those items. They did have the horsehide items, for all our Kith boys in the building. They had those horsehide pants. I think all 3 or 4 colorways. The only thing I saw left in store was the black horsehide jacket. And again, we all know those were retailing for over $1,000. I think like $1,100, $1,200. So on the sale, it was coming close to the 800 mark. So you could see it was, it's still expensive, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like heavily discounted. So it is nice to be able to, if you wanted the piece and you weren't able to afford it at the time, the sale is always a good way to be able to like pick up the item you want, if you want it for the personal, or if you want to be able to purchase it and resell on the aftermarket later down the line, as you're already getting it at a cheaper rate. Sometimes later down the line, maybe certain people wanted it, they weren't able to get it, and then they have the money later down the line, they can buy it from you at higher than that initial retail mark. So you're already getting it at a cut, right? So it's a good way to be able to make some decent dough. Again, no financial advice over here, just kind of letting you guys know what we do over here. And this is why it's important to be able to, if you have the opportunity to go in store for the sales, typically you're going to find some diamonds in the rough, all right? That's for sure. So I wanted to share that with you. Other items that I saw, they did have the Umbro Gore-Tex in store. They didn't have that online. They had the jackets in purple. They had it in like the red, white, and then I believe the black one as well. Those were definitely in store. The pants as well, I know they were definitely expensive for sure. Like the pants were $300 initially. So in store, they were coming down to $210. And then the jacket initially, I think was $400, which I think is insane. And then it was coming down to a little over $300, like $310, if anything. So, at the end of the day, it's all expensive, right? There's my cat. It's all really expensive at the end of the day. But if you have the opportunity to go in store for the sale, it's like you might find some good stuff that you initially wanted. So I wanted to share that information with you. I'm trying to think if there was anything else top of mind that's worth talking about. I did take some photos. I don't know if I'll be sharing the photos on this video, but I just, I like documenting this stuff in terms of what actually went on sale year over year, to be able to actually compare and contrast in terms of like, oh, wow, they did that. They sold that in store. They didn't do it online. So yeah, anyway, regardless, experience in store is obviously always better, because then you can actually see the item, you can touch the item, you can even wear the item. In most cases, you can wear the item. So it's nice to be able to actually try it on, because certain pieces fit a little bit different. In most cases, they fit the same as they did last year. They kind of like Supreme kind of keeps that same sizing. But there are certain pieces, if you've never worn it in the past and you have the opportunity to go and try it in store, that's always great too. So guys, that concludes the video. Smash that like button. Thanks again for all the support. Appreciate you all. I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And again, let me know, rate this fit. Rate this initial fit, all right? Let me know if you guys dig this, if you think it's kind of like close, if it's good. But I mean, for me, this is kind of like, you know, this is like winter earnest going on, you know what I mean? I need like a paintball gun or something like that, you know, but yeah, I mean, for the most part, I enjoy this. I thought about putting this together and I wanted to share it with you all. So guys, that concludes the video. Peace. Have a great rest of your day or night, you know, depending on when you're watching this. But yeah, we're cranking out more content over here. So please let me know if you want to see more content, what you want to see from me. So at least I got some ideas for the next vid. But with that being said, you know, peace.